the last year. It's all against the Sixers, so people start thinking I'm a Sixers fan.
All right, Milos improves to 9-1 on the season, and tomorrow will be the matchup of two of the four youngest players in the top 100 on the ATP World Tour facing off. All right, question for Milos?
So you knew going into that match it'd be just a couple points with the way both you guys serve. So just take us through it.
No, obviously my job was to take care of my serve. That's the most important thing. If you fall behind, it's easy really for him to close out sets. And I think what I did well was I was picking one side, and when I was able to get my racket on the ball and get the point start, I felt I was taking care of it really well. And it's tough because you have to focus the whole time. You can't really throw away any points that you really get into on the return game. And it's a straining match. But at the same time, you just have to be patient. You can't try to force things to happen. You just have to wait for the opportunity and hopefully be able to convert.
It's almost like playing yourself, huh? Or you can relate to how other guys feel when they play you.
Yeah, no, it's not a comfortable feeling. It's not a fun feeling because no matter what, you feel like you're stressed out the whole time, especially when you get those opportunities. They mean a bit more because, you know, the chance of them coming around are a lot lower. So you stress out a little bit, but if you keep it under control, which I did today, it's pretty good, and I felt I played really well.
How's the knee feel?
The knee's good. I haven't had any problems. I'm just looking after it. Obviously, I'm feeling a little bit of discomfort with it, but I don't feel it's like affecting my tennis at all.
You're moving the way you'd like to?
Yeah, I'm moving well, and I think I'm doing the things I want to be doing. And the most important thing is that explosive first step. That's the hardest thing. Going from such a standstill position and pushing off that first step, and I feel like I'm doing that well.
Milos, this was your first big win last year when you won here. Is there any kind of added pressure you're putting on yourself being the defending champion?
No, I think it's really what you make of it. It's obviously good, and I've obviously started off playing well, and I haven't really thought too much about it. I've really sort of tried to treat it as much as I can as another tournament. Obviously, coming to a tournament where you are defending, and obviously SAP is a great sponsor for me. There's a few more media obligations, but outside of that, you don't really notice any difference from any other event, other than if you want to make it that way. And I try to clear my mind about it and just treat every match as if it's another match, and treat every tournament that way, just trying to get by and trying to win and trying to improve as a player.
I think one of the late points you surprised him with the really hard second serve. Do you remember that point?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like when he was waiting for an easy serve, and then you gave him a hard one. Do you feel that confident in your serving that you can maybe throw in a first serve type velocity on a second serve?
Yeah, obviously when I do it, I don't really go too close to the sidelines. I go more at the body or just a little bit away. And I don't try to hit an ace out of it. I just try more to keep them guessing rather than standing too close, because I'm able to kick my serve pretty high. So the guys either have to go really far back or stay quite close. If I'm able just to pick up the speed and the body, I think it just makes them think a bit more. And I don't feel like I think twice about it. It's more just that I know I have to change it up, and I don't really feel like I'm doubting if it's going to go in or out. I know that it needs to be done, and I know it helps me a lot, and I feel comfortable that I can put it in probably 29 out of 30 times, so it feels good.
Milos, when you look at the top 4 or 5 guys in the game right now, what do you think is the biggest thing that separates them from the rest of the pack?
They're doing some things really well. You have Federer that can do everything, that can play really aggressive, that can really take you out of a match really quickly and just blow you off the court because he has such a high capability. You have Nadal, which is it's tough to play. It's really a headache to play because no matter what the score is, he doesn't always play his best tennis, but you know he's going to fight through everything. So that's an extra amount of stress you put on yourself knowing that he's not going to give anything away. You have Djokovic that is doing everything really well, especially for us big guys. He's returning really well, and he's moving really well, and he's fighting really well, and everything is just coming together for him. And you have Murray, who also for the big guys returns really well and defends really well and always makes you hit an extra ball. And they're really excelling at those things, as well at the same time they're able to do everything else pretty good. And there's really no weaknesses in anybody's game. Obviously, there's certain ways you try to play each one of them, but the thing about them is really when they pick it up, they can pull away in a match pretty quickly when they're playing well.
What Do you look at them and you think, I can get there soon?
Yeah, I don't know when. I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I feel like I'm capable of winning a match against them. The question is, can I do it consistently? That's where I want to be. I want to be able to contend and compete with these guys for the big events. That's where my ambitions are. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm ready to do it.
You talk about Harrison, you played him 3 times in juniors. 2 of those are very close, and you had that good match at Indian Wells, well, at least for him. Last year, 6-4 in the third, the right to play Federer. He was saying, at least for him, that was a big match, and enjoyed the intensity of the rivalry.
Yeah, no, it's good. He's very talented, and he's very good mentally. He really likes those big moments, and he competes well. So for me, it's just going to be a matter of focusing on myself. Obviously, the serve is going to be a big part of it, and then just trying to get a few opportunities. I'm going to be trying to dictate as much as I can, trying to get ahead in the points as early as possible, and trying to control the pace and trying to make him do more so the running than myself, and try to feel like I'm on top of him rather than him on top of me. And it's going to come down to a few points, just like most tennis matches. But I feel like I'm playing well and like I'm ready for it.
Can you read his game well? Because he mixes it up pretty well. Sometimes he changes strategy. And I guess the first time he played him, I think, was 2007 or 2008. So has his game evolved now to the point where you're not sure if he's going to play one way or another way, or do you think it's pretty basic?
No, I don't think he has a basic game by any means. He does a few things really well. And I think his strength is how competitive he is. I think he's very eager to win, and he knows how to win. And I think he's able to do a lot of things. He moves pretty well. He's able to serve volley. He goes for a second serve. So he believes a lot in himself. And it's a little difficult because sometimes we go and we play matches and there's certain things we expect at certain parts of the match when it gets a little bit tighter, and he can change that around quickly. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work out, but he believes in himself, and that definitely makes it a lot more difficult.
Milos, do you ever, after you hit a serve, do you ever glance over at the speed gun, or is that something you're aware of during a match, or is that something that you don't pay attention to?
Sometimes I'll glance over if I feel like I'm struggling with my serve, because it is an instance of where I've just lost a little bit of energy in my serve. But I only really look over after I hit the serve. Normally, if it's something hard, you get a crowd response, and then that's the only time. But I won't be looking over pretty much every serve. I just feel if I'm struggling or if I hear something in the crowd.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.